That was some serious like trauma response. Oh, does it like mute all the ding dongs? It's awkward though, like when you join, because do I say like hello? Do I interrupt? Or is that rude? Even walk in. Because like if some dude is just praying, right? Like minding his own business, he's doing his own thing, and you just walk up and like kick him a little bit. Just like, hey, what's up? It's kind of shitty. At the same time, on the flip side, if you just like sit in the corner and watch, it's also a little weird. Yeah. Cooked by God. FFD. For some reason, in my head, there had to be like a foot fact joke in there, but I've had so little sleep this week that I just can't process humor anymore. Ex- was it a flaming hot Cheeto? Let me check. Oh, I can hear myself. I just can't hear you.
It's weird because when I was starting out, I was just it worked fine, and then I clicked the streaming button and it stopped working.
Okay.
LMAO, I just came in at the perfect time.
I was
Hello.
no,
No, you literally just came at it at some time. That's
Damn.
the right time was up 3 minutes ago.
yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so there's like this piece of cardboard that there's like, oh, these are the different cultivars that are in here, and then one of them it just says Carolina Reaper, and it's just clearly a red habanero. It's just not a Carolina
Hell
Reaper.
yes.
It was
I
even it
kind
was
of
Hell
like
want
the
yeah.
to.
wrong picture too. Like you can't Google that.
I really want to do something like that where it's just all the branding is of something really, really, really spicy, and it looks like something you don't want to fuck with, and then
Yeah,
you open it up and it's just like cherry tomatoes.
hell yeah, that would fucking rule. I love cherry tomatoes,
Hmm.
You
dude.
know,
Yeah,
you know what's funny is that a lot of the hottest or spiciest cultivars of pepper have been coming from the UK, and that makes me wonder if like some British citizens are we're just like really fucking sick of the joke about British food being bland. So they're just like, we're gonna make the hottest peppers ever.
Hell yeah. I mean, that does remind me, apparently there is saffron starting to be grown in Essex. Or
I
not
mean,
Essex
the
specifically, hang on,
climate
where?
on the British Isles, like if you exclude Scotland, is so mild that you can
Yeah. Yeah,
grow
you
a
can.
lot of like tropical shit there. Just not very
Mm.
well, but like palm trees and all that, they survive the winter. That's not a problem
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
like at least on the western coast of the UK.
Fair enough.
I don't think I've
How's
ever seen
everyone
any
doing?
actually.
You've never
Really?
seen any palm
No,
trees.
Not in the UK. I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. Like I haven't seen many palm trees actually.
I
either.
love palm trees. They make me feel at home. They make me feel like, damn, this is a
Nah,
nice place to be.
palm trees be whack, yo.
Reminds me of Germany.
Palm trees.
The tropical beaches of Germany, dude.
I don't know.
Palm trees are like in like Southern California.
Oh, hang on.
Like that
One
used to be a
second.
big
I need
problem.
to. I'm gonna
in
be a
like
bit louder in a. Okay, I am now significantly louder. Yeah, please go on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like, yeah, because palm trees are
Yeah, you
so
glitching out, bro.
You're cutting
Uh,
out severely.
that-
I don't know if you're in Wyoming again, but
I'm in Arkansas. I can hear you guys just fine. Oh well.
yeah, but you're on our end. You're roboting out quite severely. It's something about palm trees in California. That's what I got.
Yeah.
You
Well,
click-
they're
Go on. Sorry.
very valuable and stuff.
This
Oh, okay.
I think YouTube does not want us to have this information. It's too powerful.
Bro, the reality police is just coming in right now.
The Arkansas CIA is like, no, shut him down.
We can't have him exchange this information. It's too powerful.
Yeah, he cannot red pill the Ann Bergen community.
God, I have to
That's
admit,
weird because I'm literally staring at a cell tower.
Jesus. I mean, right now you're coming through fine.
Yeah, I have to admit, watching
Oh,
that Mage video, fucking Elberg, what the fuck did you eat or smoke? Cause like, fuck, bro, that's funny as fuck.
I mean, thank you. I should hope that it is. This is after all kind of my job.
No, like most of the time I go in like thinking it'll be somewhat, at the very least, eye-opening or informational. Here it was just on full-on blown laughter. Like I wasn't holding my gut, but I was like going, bruh, please stop. You're giving me too many jokes.
I mean, I feel like with the law, there's more of an opportunity, more space to do some zingers. Actually, this is something that happened today. So today was a very shit day, with the exception of this. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I've seen it. Hell yeah, bro.
I
go.
received this image in the mail today. It's a Disco Elysium fan art poster from an Etsy shop. It was sent to me directly from that Etsy shop. It's great. It's really, I love it. I'm gonna frame this and hang this up. Here's my problem. I have no clue who sent this to me. It didn't have like a card or any sort of informational thing attached to it that said this is, like, I know which Etsy shop this is from, but I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Your
who
address,
sent
like,
me this?
Public? Or
Yeah,
has
it
someone
has to be legally. My address has to be public because I'm German.
Actually, I'm not bringing in any political discussions here, but I do want to post something kind of funny. At least I found it funny when I said it. So your mileage may vary.
self-posting?
Yeah.
I mean,
incredibly
unless
cringe.
it's Cetor who sent it to me.
I want to be political. How can I implement Israel versus Palestine in my D&D game?
Well, here's how you do it. You make an entire fucking kingdom
Fireball?
like the United Kingdom, and that's how you do it.
Okay, I should actually sound a lot better now on this end too.
Nah, you've always been sounding
Okay.
sounds.
Well,
now.
this is really. I feel like hitting the start streaming button a few minutes ago really fucked something up majorly in my audio settings because this was turned to the wrong. Discord was turned to the wrong input device, but apparently it was still turned to the right input device. Instead of the fact that it was turned to the wrong input device. I'm very fucking confused.
This sounds like something I would do if I was working at Google. Like, the have an implicit function that when someone presses start, it fucks like all of their
In
sounds.
it. Hell yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Your latest YouTube video was an acid trip. I was very confused hearing
Oh,
about
the changeling
waves
one. I was like, what's the last one that I did? Yeah, it's the changeling one. Yeah, thanks. It's a trippy setting.
I'm binging these videos, Berg. I like the lore of this so far.
World of Darkness lore is really good.
Yeah.
It's
The problem is I need good video games to get into kind of like that kind of stuff, because like playing tabletop is a bit hard for me at the moment, so like yeah, can't do shit about that.
Yeah, I can't
What about,
imagine anyone in London would want to play TTRPGs. It's such a rural part of the world.
Nah, just don't have the fucking. I'm finding I don't have a lot of time for shit anymore, and it's not because of like procrastination. It is literally I have started to become a lot more proactive, which somehow great, but also
Yeah. You lose, like, there's a lot of society is structured in a way that does not value your individual time at all. It just like expects you to sacrifice it so everything else can keep functioning.
It's not work. It's literally me doing plans.
That's good.
I know, it's not me doing plans. The planning phase has ended. It is literally me going through everything that I planned. But, like, it's not just going out with friends. It's literally like, okay, on this day I'm going to do this at the very least. But I've got this to at least complete as, like... It would be a really good day to complete all of this, but at the very least I want to complete this, you know?
Yeah.
Set myself up with, like, an overarching goal.
Side quests.
Yeah. I mean, and you have some fucking follow through on that shit, you know? I wish you had more time for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The change of seasons is fucking me over so much right now.
Me too, dude. It's fucking terrible. I'm just like,
it.
oh, it's 6. Well, it's dark now. I'm like, what the fuck?
Has anyone else noticed a lot of people getting COVID recently?
Since 2020, a lot of people, a lot more people than before that. I feel like since 2020, like before 2020, I couldn't tell you a single person that I knew even that had COVID, and then like suddenly all of them had it.
Oh, absolutely, for fucking sure.
Like pandemic levels of
Really?
people having it. Yeah, it was fucking crazy,
that's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, like I don't know how it was,
believe that.
where you live, but at least here, that's.
Yeah, it
I know
happened over here as well.
a couple people who had
Bro,
that.
You got
Yeah.
people who ain't ever died before. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was wild when suddenly like dying was introduced. Like, what the fuck is this?
Bro, these developers need to nerf that shit so hard. It's so fucking difficult, bro.
I'm like, that's fucked up. You didn't need to do that. Nobody asked for this feature. Like,
Bro.
the Steam reviews really tanked after that.
That was really fucked up, back then, because it was like I'd be following people on Twitter, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm feeling pretty sick," and then they're like, "Oh, I tested positive for COVID. I'm gonna take some time off to get better," and they just never showed up again.
Yeah, fucking wild.
That was pretty.
For me, getting COVID was actually like when I did get it, like the one time that I got it consciously. I got it another time earlier this year, where I only noticed after because I had like all the long COVID symptoms suddenly that I'm still struggling with. But when I had it the original time, it was great. It was like I have an excuse to not work for like a week.
Hell yeah.
I was actually really annoyed when I got COVID. Not because it was like, oh no, I have COVID, but everyone had hyped it up so much for me.
Yeah.
And I had like no symptoms. So it was like, what's the point?
You were excited, like.
Yeah, I was hyped. I was like, finally, another.
Actually, the first time I got the first time I got COVID, I actually did something really fucked up. Because I'd already gotten vaccinated, but I caught COVID, like a few months after getting vaccinated. So I was masking up because it happened while I was on the road, so I was working. And well, when you're out on the road, you can't just all of a sudden, just take a week off.
Yeah.
You kind of have to keep working. So I was
I
masking
mean,
up.
like, ideally you should be able to do that, but yeah, you can't.
Yeah, we're like railroad workers in the U.S. We don't have we really can't. But anyway, I was masking up, and I started getting harassed by people, for putting my mask on. And eventually, I just got sick of it. I just was like, okay, and I just took my mask off. I was like, you know what? Fuck you.
It's so I fucking hate how COVID was politicized. And I really feel that just in general, even people who were like who weren't anti-maskers, right? Who weren't like Schwurbler, 5G, whatever the fuck people, just don't trust medical science anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like people who were like, "Oh yeah, anti-maskers are so stupid, and you should get vaccinated." Like now, it's like, yeah, medical science isn't actually real, and there's
science on the mask. Like cloth masks are bad. Masks protect others from you. Masks are the N95s. I heard protect you from COVID, but don't protect others from you because you breathe out all the particles. Like, what's the exact science on masks? Because I'll let you guys talk.
I mean, they're all decent. It's better to wear one than not.
You're sick, you should wear one because it doesn't keep stuff out, but it keeps you from spreading stuff. That's why when I was sick and I kept getting harassed by people, I was just like, all right, fuck y'all. And I just took the mask off.
Like, having a mask that basically is a perfect protective device is that like not tenable for most people. I mean, it wasn't then either. Now we don't wear masks anymore, obviously. But it was very like you gotta fucking put on a medical mask or an FFP2 mask. Either of those usually just they were fine the whole time, and I liked the cloth masks because you could wash them. I felt like there was
you can get like cool patterns and stuff.
Yeah, my grandma made some. That was really cool.
I heard the protection from the cloth mask wasn't up to par though.
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be, but in the early times, everyone was like doing cloth masks. And then people, because like when COVID came on the scene, that particular coronavirus strain, with it being constantly mutating, we just straight up didn't know how it works, and we had to like do the test, like we had to find out to a scientific standard, and like the supply chain wasn't prepared for suddenly everyone who isn't a medical doctor or a nurse also buying masks. So there was a lot of like.
It was fucked, basically.
It really was.
I'm wondering how that one guy. You remember that one guy from Tennessee who like got like a second mortgage on his house and bought like $50,000 worth of toilet paper?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he's doing.
The people who live in Tennessee and from like the Midwest, like they're special people. Like they truly believe God, country, family, and those are their values, and I like them and I respect them for it.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
God damn it! My pasta's so fucking bland, even though I put fucking pesto on it.
No, but do you all feel this as well? That like people that just who aren't anti-vaxxers have also become just more. I don't know. I wouldn't even say skeptical, just deranged.
I would say so.
Yeah, it really opened up the floodgates to just.
I have a lot of anti-vax coworkers, and it's like there's no like communicating with vaccines with them. It's like
Yeah.
Everyone's died. It caused like 1,000 heart problems. It's like, don't bother.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
hurts
fucking
sometimes.
insane. No, but I mean like
Well,
specifically people who weren't anti-vaxxers, like people who you know, who were like, oh, anti-vaxxers are stupid. I feel like they too, a lot of them have. What in the fuck is this?
What did you give? What did you do?
What is this shit? This is some anime shit, right? Like this.
This is
No
this
one
is
actually
like
went to
Japan.
Shark Tank with this shit.
Oh no, I would believe people going to Shark Tank with this shit, but like, that is definitely like some Japanese fuck up.
Oh, is this? Is Sito posting about the fucking Ethan Klein Hassan drama?
Ethan Klein has been surprisingly good. Well,
I
surprisingly.
hate the Hamas Israel fucking situation for obvious reasons,
Yes.
but also because it's one of those things that just turns 90% of people into just deranged sociopaths.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah,
planning
what
on going.
I just want to say, as somebody who remembers, welcome to 9/11 Part 2. This is what it was like after 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
People fucking deranged.
Fucking Stanhope doing a 9/11 bit on 9/12. Fucking.
Yeah. But yeah, having people like fucking Terror Strong of all people just going fucking just hats off like.
Won't you join
genocidal
us on stream instead of typing in chat like a bitch?
Sito be a bitch ass. But I will say, it has kind of given me like a lot. Well, not a lot of perspective, but it's just kind of like shown me like the people I don't necessarily trust when it comes to like anything to do with what's the word, like whenever it's whatever China does with the Uyghurs. Yeah, any sort of opinions on that is like anyone that's kind of shown themselves to be like either supporting Hamas or supporting Israel. I'm like, yeah, probably not you know, not the best kind of guy to give like opinions on shit like this, you know?
It's so just
tiring.
Yeah, it's so tiring. It destroys all of my faith in humanity's ability to think. Like you can think that because by the way, I'm pretty sure this is what Ethan does. You can think that what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, like the Israeli government, Netanyahu, like that sort of ultra-nationalist political strain is terrible. It's apartheid, it's genocide, it's just morally indefensible. Well, at the same time, you can also say that Hamas are a bunch of terrorist scum. And they do not represent the Palestinian people. And if you say this, you piss off the most amount of people, when saying this should be pissing off the least.
But you have to pick a side.
I'm on fucking betdsi.com. Fucking.
If the government's truly evil, then I guess terrorist action against it is somehow justified, right? Or no?
Well, it's not that simple. Like, it's not terrorist action that's happening against the government. Like, they're just killing civilians. It's such the whole thing is so... It's not even morally complicated. But it's, like, humanly complicated.
People on both sides calling... Like, people, like, praising the destruction, the leveling of Gaza. Never mind the fact that it's mostly children that
it's
live
a very
there,
young population,
along with
there
a million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had people like that fucking douchebag Second Thought saying like, it's Israeli settlers. They're not civilians.
I'm so
It's like,
fucking
go
irritated.
fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm so fucking irritated at how much of a fascist that guy has turned out to be.
Who's Second Thought
Yeah.
again?
I mean, I knew
He's
that
the
from him
biggest
being on a
sneaky
podcast with
YouTuber.
Hakeem
Yeah.
and the other guy whose name I remember, because his videos generally are pretty good, like on socialism, he does some good shit. And he explains things well. Like he sometimes there's like things he says where I'm like, hang on, what? Why? What do you mean by that? But usually it's like, okay, this is fine. This is
Wait,
well
doesn't
explained.
he do that? No, that's not him actually.
But no,
That's a different guy.
he's been on that podcast with Hakeem and the Ugaltnik guy, just
That's
literally
his
saying
name.
that he does not care that Israelis are dying
It's like what
at the hands of Hamas.
the fucked up thing is too, right? I have family in Israel, and I know I know Palestinians. And like what a lot of probably most of just the civilian population wants to happen is for there to not be fucking war. That's the people whose side I'm on. Just the regular ass Israelis and Palestinians who just live in that area.
Civilians, you know,
the civilian
people who don't
people.
have the fucking guns. I mean, like, I will
I had
say,
to go. I had to go off on my dad on this because, I talked about how the Palestinians are suffering thanks to Hamas. And he was like, "Well, they shouldn't have voted for him in 2008." And I told him, "It's like, have you looked at the polling numbers? Like, Hamas got like 42% of the vote. They didn't have a majority, in that vote from fucking 15 years ago. Their last election."
It's also like it's not like you can go just to the polls. It's like factually just strongmanship there. It's so fucking
Yeah, and then it's like,
Pokemon go to the polls.
yeah.
and then on the other
Exactly.
side, on the other side, you have people supporting BB and the IDF when they said, "Hey, Palestinians, if you want to get out of here, go to this one border crossing with Egypt," and then they turn around and fucking bomb that border crossing.
oh yeah,
That video of them bombing that border crossing is just.
I have not watched any of that. I'm currently in the process of planning like a convention with nerd shit. So I am stressed out enough as it is. I don't need to see that kind of shit.
Yeah, we
let's
don't-
talk, let's talk
not.
about something else.
Oh,
I
hang
do
on.
find it-
Is Beast
Sorry.
here?
Beast is here.
Yo,
oh shit,
What's up?
it's the Beast
Hello,
Boy.
Beast.
Damn.
It
I
is the
live.
Beast Boy.
It's been a while, my man.
yeah, I don't sit still very often. I've been in various countries doing various things.
Hell
I've
yeah,
been-
Nice.
dude. Where are
Mr.
you
Worldwide.
currently? In which country?
I'm currently back in the. I'm back in the States right now. I got back from Australia about 2 weeks ago.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
shit, you've been in Australia?
Because I knew you were hanging out in Australia for a time, and then
Yeah, I got married, dude.
you
Holy
did
Congrats.
shit! Congrats!
Congratulations, man.
that
Holy
fuck.
rules.
Yeah, it's so far
Cool.
so good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, my husband's a nerd.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And now we're just dealing with like immigration
Hell yes.
bullshit. But
Yeah.
yeah,
How long have you been married?
like has it been a couple of months? But it's October. About almost 2 months now. It's a
Damn.
very recent thing.
Damn.
Okay.
See,
Back from
this
the
this
honeymoon
is a
then.
funny coincidence because I've had a boyfriend for 2 months.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nice. You think it's like the same guy? Are we like?
No, it's probably not the same. No, it's probably not the same
I'm
guy.
not-
He's not
Logan is
Australian.
your husband.
I don't know, Nemo.
You never know. Also, congrats! I saw like all the the videos like announcing like various things. So congrats on everything that I didn't DM you on.
Yeah. we did DM. I think you did congratulate me on the bisexuality. That is very true. Hell yeah.
Wait, so
Rules.
That we have to like every single time a new bi person is created, like we have to send them like a card full of like, okay, so here's like a flannel like a flannel shirt that you can choose to wear.
Here's some Doc
And here's-
Martens.
That's true. I got mine
like,
in the mail like not too long ago.
I
here's
like
a
I
shirt
got
that
it
you
and I
can-
was like, well, I'm gonna add this to the collection, but it's a nice one.
Look,
have you
here's
guys
a list
heard
of-
about?
Go ahead.
sorry.
Have you guys heard about battle axe bisexuals? Are you familiar with this term?
I am not.
I thought the
know that I
battle
do have
axe
a-
was like the
no.
lesbian flag.
Right. So my understanding of battle axe bisexual, which I may be wrong, is it's a bisexual person who stands up for and fights for bisexuals, and that like there's been an encroachment on bisexuals' rights and their existence, and they'll like stand up against it.
Oh
saying,
yeah,
like, with the
bi-
I
creation
will
of
fight
pansexual-
anybody.
Right. They're saying that you should be pansexual, not bisexual, because there's more than two genders. And
so
well, like gay people will be like, "Oh, you're just playing for the other side," and straight people will be like, "You're just gay." Well, battle axe
that
bisexuals
fucking
are on the
beast?
front line with their axe, saying, "No,
Yeah.
we're bi and we love it."
Hell yeah.
I respect everyone's right to self-identify, whether it be if you think pan fits you better than bi, go for it. But also, those people are generally annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks.
I the more I've thought
You're
about
annoying.
it, the more I
yeah,
have
I guess,
thought,
yeah, I guess I am annoying.
the more I've thought about it, the more I have come to the conclusion that I was correct from the very beginning. That much of the labeling has really just obfuscated who I am to myself more than it has revealed truth to me. Like it was like I am bisexual. I prefer women. That doesn't mean I'm not bisexual, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was always a thing. There was like, if you can't be bisexual if you're not perfectly 50-50 in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like with the discrimination, if I was bi but preferred women, I'd probably just identify as straight to try to not be discriminated against or judged. Like it takes some bravery to kind of come out in a sense.
It's also
I'll just beat him up.
It's also, I think, the bi like implies too. You know, I'm into MB people a lot. Like
Don't
it's
fucking care if they consent to it. I fuck them.
yeah, but then people exactly. And if I also
Like
am into-
literally that, but like unironically, like, but you could also define bi as, you know, your own, like you're attracted to like your own sex and also other ones. You know, those could be the two categories. But really, it's just a shorthand for like, I don't care what's downstairs. If I find if you're cute, let's you know put our downstairs parts
Let's do a
together.
dance,
We'll figure
baby.
it out.
Well,
You know?
that's why I
Let's
personally,
do
that's
let's
why I
do the
personally
horizontal
identify as pan, because I feel pan is just a more comfortable label for me.
That's
Sounds like
fine.
it.
Yeah, go for it.
Wait.
Like the people who make like, a big deal out of it are annoying. But like even on that notion, like there are some people who the getting into like the very much minutia of the sort of labeling with the, you know, that's where you get like the demisexuals or like the sapiosexuals and all these sort of things. There's a lot of different sexuality descriptors that really just end up saying some form of, hey, I have to like you as a person first. But like a lot of people have to like him as a person. I don't think that's a meaningful qualifier to add because you know, and since it's an ongoing, like you don't have to fuck anyone just because you have a certain label. Like, oh, you're a heterosexual, you have to fuck this chick. Like, no.
Yeah,
like,
and I can't.
I feel like I
the
get
person
that a lot
anyway.
as like a poly person. They just think you're fucking all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just in a bunch of relationships. I ain't fucking nobody.
You're
Huh.
ace poly.
no.
You're asexual poly.
My
Pretty
husband and
much.
I saw you from across the room and really like your vibe.
Everybody
We're
likes my
This is-
vibe.
Bisexuals now, buddy.
This is me with my partners for real.
No, it's like
Congrats on the marriage, Beast.
I met-
I just saw that
Yeah.
belatedly.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. It's really fun. Like, all right, so I was very anti-marriage for the longest time because, like, you know, being around straight dudes will do that. But yeah, no, like, there's a
Tell me
dude in
about
my
it.
house that loves me, and it's pretty great. Like, we
Hell yeah.
like we We
No,
get up,
that's
we go to
pretty
the
cool.
gym together. He goes to work, and I live the life of like a French housewife, where I walk to the market with a basket and pick up vegetables for supper.
Hell
Oh,
Then
yeah.
like,
Let me go to the
like, then,
farmer's
like,
market.
and then like we blow each other and watch One Piece. Like shit's
Hell
great.
yeah.
Hell fucking yes,
Fuck yeah,
dude.
bro.
Sounds like the dream.
How dare you be happy?
It's awesome. I recommend it.
Find someone you can blow and watch One Piece with.
Yeah, you have to blow them throughout every episode though, and there's
Oh,
a lot.
God.
So like,
Oh, that's
Working
gonna
is
you're gonna have to
My
get
jaw's
some
gonna
luck
hurt.
there, yeah.
you're gonna look like
one nut for every time Luffy says he's gonna be king of the
Shut up.
pirates.
No.
you end up with like the jaw of dire Brad Pitt. Yes.
So yeah,
Hell yeah.
I do not need a nutcracker. I just give me whatever you need. A safe, I will open it for you.
I will say, so even though
What?
I'm not in it, I've not been. Sorry, Berg. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm trying not to choke on the fucking spaghetti.
On cock.
I would
That's
love
also-
to choke on cock.
that's-
Unfortunately, I've not been in a relationship yet. You fucking asshole.
Damn.
Choking
Yeah,
is usually
Chris.
not what you want to do. Actually, breathing is great.
Yeah, breathing is great, but
Like
at
my
this point, I
favorite
don't
thing.
care. Let me be the dom. Let me be the sub. I don't care. Just fuck me.
Oh, okay.
It's desperate bottom energy only.
Hey, look. If we get to do
There's
the
nothing wrong with being a bottom posh, okay?
Hey, look.
Yes, there
If we
is.
get
Well-
to do the perpendicular yoinky splinky, I don't mind.
Yoinky splinky!
I feel like
Right,
maybe
please.
this is why you're not fucking. I don't want to like, but describing it as the yoinky sploinky.
I just imagine the grinder conversations like.
God.
I've not
You
tried
wanna-
Grindr yet. I've not reached that level of
No,
desperation
put it
yet.
put it in your
Good.
profile, Posh.
Yoink. Actually, that might
That's
work
too
though.
whimsical.
You
People
wanna
love-
yoink my spoink?
Little.
People love a whimsical bottom. That's
Yeah, they do. It's worked for
You're
me.
coming over and they give you
I
3
don't
wishes.
care.
you know?
I genuinely at this point I don't care if I'm a bottom or not. Just fuck me, please, or
Well,
let
hey,
me fuck you.
listen. Build a friendship
Bottom
and
thing
extrapolate
ever.
from that.
Just as a bit of advice, that level of desperation will scare off they'll scare off anybody but the people that you should not want to fuck.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
I mean-
you'll be able to get sex like that, but it's there's
You don't
like
want
don't
that.
sit
Yeah,
big and crazy, have crazy put their penis in you. There's a lot of you need to have some level of discernment.
Yeah,
alright?
you don't want.
Look,
I mean, you could be desperate. Just don't tell them you're desperate.
I know.
Just
Yeah, keep it inside. Conceal, don't
I am
feel.
too-
Learn from
conceal, don't feel.
I'm too awkward and quite frankly, what's
Talk
the
to them
word?
about your like hyperfixations. Bitches love
Yeah,
it.
no, legit.
I
you can
do
be
that.
awkward if
I
you want.
do
You
that
can
on
go.
a regular basis, but the problem
And you haven't
am-
rizzed up any of your friends?
I have
Question mark?
tried.
You know that?
I
Do you know that picture that's like I explained the lore of this video game to me and she blew my fucking nut off? So
Okay, no.
that was a Steam
Legit.
review.
Would work for me.
I
That's all
sat
I'm
my
saying.
husband down and forced him to learn about 40K lore. Just like mid BJ, like you can do it. It doesn't matter. It's like yes, now you're gonna learn about Slanesh, and then we're gonna do
No.
some Slanesh type shit.
no.
Hell
I
yeah.
have
Praise
so
Slanesh.
I've gone on these fuck. What did you call them again?
What?
Homosexuals?
No,
Rage?
just now. Not ranting, but like hyperfixations, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
my
yeah.
mind's all over the fucking place at the moment. But like, I have done that before, but only to friends. People who I've said like, "Hey, we're just doing friendship right now. I don't know you enough. I just want a friendship. Like, I don't care."
Okay.
Okay,
But,
so
like-
do you know what the most boring person is? A person where like, what are you into? Oh, I don't know,
Wherever
just
you wanna
stuff.
go.
What do you,
Oh,
what
fuck
do
that.
you-
No.
Oh,
Fucking terrible. No,
being
the people.
hyperfixated shows passion, and passion is sexy. It's a good quality to have.
I
Yeah.
do that because like
AF.
literally the last 3 friends I have made I have talked to them about my hyperfixation about Dungeon Synth, and if you know me, you know I fucking love
We
Dungeon
all know.
Synth.
Yeah, your Dungeon Synth playlist is almost at 10,000 entries. I've seen it.
10,000?
Yeah.
Yep. On Spotify, mind you. If Bandcamp allowed you to make playlists, that number would be massive. Like,
Oh my god.
Alright.
It is massive now, my dude.
I need to see this and
Bro,
also
you do not understand my hyperfixation with Dungeon Synth.
To be fair, though, I
not massive.
don't agree with your inclusion of the Skyrim soundtrack.
Fuck you. It goes there.
I was listening to it recently, and I got like 3 Skyrim songs in a row, and I was like, how does this happen on a playlist with like almost 10,000 entries? Like, how do I get there's not that many Skyrim songs.
It's just a sign. You gotta do another playthrough.
And then I did just listen to the Skyrim soundtrack, but I opened a different playlist for that.
Speaking of having a fun time in Oblivion,
Nice.
I've still not reached Martin yet because I don't want to fucking do
The main quest.
Fair enough.
It is famously
I've
the
heard
weakest aspect of the game.
Main quest is
I
always the
heard
worst.
you have to deal with a lot of Oblivion gates. I'm just like, I don't want to feel overwhelmed where it's like I discover a new quest just as I'm doing the Oblivion gate. It's like, hell no. I've had enough of like sub stories in fucking Yakuza happening when I'm going to the main quest. I don't want that shit to happen. But yeah.
Oblivion's the one with the completely broken leveling, right?
Yeah.
And they all kind of are, but yes.
Hell yeah.
That one is special.
I mean, it's not as bad as Morrowind. I actually
I like
played
Morrowind.
for the first time last week, just
not a
to
good
get
game.
like footage. For
That's
my
where
new video.
because I was wondering how you got that particular footage.
Yeah, I downloaded Morrowind.
Hell yeah.
And I didn't actually play a lot of it. I just like.
Did you get killed by the cliff racers and give up?
How did you cheated to get to the boss fight then, basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. I just wanted the footage, but now
No
I think
grind
I'm actually gonna play it because here's the thing that I find weird. The thing that I found the most interesting and like captivating about the little bit of Morrowind I played was the sounds. I don't know what it is about it, but something about it is so whimsical and immersive from this fucking 20-year-old
I would say
game.
ethereal, but yes.
Sound
Wait till you have to roll
design
a
used
dice
to
to
have
hit
to do a lot more of the heavy lifting when it came to immersing you into a game.
Just
Yeah.
immediately at the site where you get off the fucking boat as the prisoner, just the way the water sounds pulled me right in.
This is why I play a lot of games with the soundtrack off. Which you have in the past described as psychopath behavior.
Yes, it is entirely
Sounds
true.
a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
it's not just a little bit. It is full on psychopath.
No, okay. So the
behavior.
reason I started doing this is because when I first played Oblivion, for some reason the soundtrack there was no soundtrack. I didn't even know the game had a soundtrack.
How?
And when I played Skyrim later, I had on a completely different machine, mind you, with a completely different system, everything different game, a different place even. I had the exact same bug where the music just wouldn't play. And so I later found out that Oblivion had a soundtrack as well, and I quite liked it too. I liked the Skyrim soundtrack because at that point I was very into game soundtracks. But that's kind of what led to me not playing a lot of games with the music off.
Being a psychopath.
What is the appeal to having no music?
Well, it feels more immersive
Psychopathy.
sometimes. Especially in the Elder Scrolls games, because then later with the mod pack I'm currently playing, the bug doesn't happen, and especially the battle music of Elder Scrolls, I don't find it's like epic battle music, like big epic conflict,
Bombastic.
but it's not.
And you're
That's never
fighting
what
a
happens. I'm just
One
down in the
thing is-
ditches finding they have like 3 mud
Yeah,
crabs.
it does. I will agree with you on one thing. Like the battle music, especially if you're in dungeons in Oblivion, the dungeon music is so kind of
It's
eerie
very
and shit,
immersive,
and
yeah.
then it's very immersive, and then bum ba da ba ba bum ba da ba da bum.
Yeah. And
It's
I find
funny
that
how
Competitive, like-
Morrowind.
I thought I was supposed to be fighting fucking zombies and
Yeah.
shit here. I'm not fighting the fucking demons at the
Yeah.
hell gates right now.
that aspect especially
competitive
it always dragged me
competitive
out of my movie.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
They'll turn off the music because at the end of the match it'll get real dramatic and it'll like get in your brain and change the way you play. You want to be as clinical and calculated as possible. So you turn off the music because it kind of plays on your emotions.
I used to when I was playing Overwatch. I also didn't listen to the Overwatch soundtrack, but I did used to like listen to other music. This is something I do a lot as well. I will listen to different like currently when I'm playing I really like space western shit. So when I play Starfield, I turn off the Starfield music. I have like old country music and like old blues music playing in the background.
When I played
kind of-
This just made me think: am I the psychopath? Because I remember,
Oh,
yeah.
I remember, I remember playing Overwatch back in the day, and I also always had different music on, but I didn't turn down the Overwatch music.
What the fuck?
I don't
Bruh,
think
what
music
the fuck?
dictates if you're a psychopath. If you have a
I
lack
just-
of empathy and
I
like
just
hurting
put on
No,
people.
some
no, that-
fucking
It's
Caravan
it's
Palace.
a lack of empathy, but also listening to 2 different soundtracks at the same time, like a
Yeah.
fucking monster.
Dude, what
That's
the
wild.
fuck?
That's
Uh,
like
also,
having a
like-
different one in like each ear.
Yeah, hey, I got 2 ears. I can listen to 2 things at the same time.
times.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
it's
when I
it's a
played
waste
Overwatch.
of time if you're not listening to 2 songs.
When I played Overwatch, I only played Lucio, and I would listen to the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Because-
God,
And
It's so cute.
and the game music, right? That too.
Oh no! Again, get help.
No. Get help.
Okay.
I don't want you to walk away from this conversation thinking that that's an okay thing to do. Alright?
I
Dude,
fucking
it's so
loved
good
it.
to
I
talk to you
liked
again,
Overwatch
Beast.
back when it was like playable, right? So when it was still good.
Well, yeah. I was a Doomfist main, so it's like
Oh,
they kind
yeah.
of just killed
I was playing
my
Reinhardt.
hero.
I was the
played-
cowboy.
Do you know what the current thing is in Overwatch, Chris?
Why?
Everyone is getting clown skins.
Why?
Immediately, I
Because
can
the
hear him
Chargers-
reinstalling the game. Like,
Reinhardt's cinematic is like peak fiction. That gets you tearing up, man. It's a good cinematic.
I played Reinhardt the very first time that I played the game, which was at Gamescom the year before it came out, in Cologne.
Like 2015.
Yeah, something like that. And it was just the first one that I picked because I was like, I don't want to have to shoot people, and that's been my main guy since. I also used to play like Lucio and Zenyatta. But, yeah,
Did it have
it's-
anything to do with him being German? Do you think like the
No, I
the
just
nations-
like being the big knight tank. Winston, I also
He's
played
just
a lot.
like me
Winston
for real.
fucking ruled.
Reinhardt is my entire vibe.
Yeah, it kind of is though. Like,
Get behind me!
yeah,
Well, my cousin said it was like a Don Quixote thing.
yeah,
Like Reinhardt is
yeah.
based off him
That's
somehow.
really his vibe. So,
I have a Don Quixote vibe.
you hate windmills, dude.
Fucking.
I remember in
Can't
Italy
stand
when
them.
we were just walking around the Tuscan countryside, you were just foaming at the mouth because there was a windmill, and they're just like, God damn it!
I couldn't
Yes.
enjoy anything of the Giardino dei Tarocchi because there was a windmill like 3 kilometers further on.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just like, someone needs to put a stop to this shit.
Yeah, we had to distract you by using the car door to crush your fiance's fingers.
What?
Yeah, you remember this. You bring this up all the time, dude.
My fiance's
Really,
face?
we're all just
The car door
Talking in circles.
situation.
Yeah, but that wasn't her face. That was her fingers.
Yeah, fingers. That's what I said. Fingers.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The
Just
fuck
looking
is
back
going
and
on
forth
today?
like,
It's a real. This is.
This is why
is
I
a
think
cursed
that Fran
day.
is a magic person, because
Yeah.
apparently he knew.
He knew. He saw it coming.
Yeah. He was trying to protect me
Yeah.
by smashing her fingers.
Jesus. Oh hell yeah.
how about hell no?
Oh fuck.
No. Hell no to that.
Oh fuck.
Burger. Have you
Also-
solved dieting, nutrition, food intake? Are you peak brain capacity in that regard?
I mean, what do you mean I made very spicy chili today, if that's what you mean. It had a lot of
They
Solid
weren't.
herbs.
It wasn't Carolina Reaper chili.
No,
though.
it was not Carolina Reaper chili. It was just literally they just put that on there. Oh, this is a Carolina Reaper. It's like this. It's not a Carolina Reaper.
It's not though.
But it was cheap
you-
and very spicy. So thank you.
Well, that's good.
Did it have cheese?
It did have
What?
cheese actually. Yeah, chili. It had
Oh, the
cheese.
chili.
It wasn't chili, no cheese.
Oh,
He's no
shibboleth. Shibboleth.
I actually specifically
you.
I was tasting it and I was like, this is too spicy even for me. Like, I know I would eat a small portion of this, but I need to eat a big portion of this. So I went back to the supermarket, and I actually ran into a friend of mine, an acquaintance, who is going to prison
What?
for being
wow.
homeless.
What's he doing there? What's he doing there?
Yeah, what?
I saw.
That's
So
weird.
he used to panhandle in front of the supermarket where I go to, and the
Oh, is
guy.
that the guy with the dog?
No, it's not the guy with the dog. He also disappeared though. The
Really?
manager of that supermarket really hates homeless people, and he also does not like me because I give money to homeless people. But he cannot kick me out of the store because that would be
Right.
highly illegal. But I mean, it's also kind of illegal to do that with the panhandlers. But you know, he has power, and he uses it. And so the
A
guy,
very tiny amount.
yeah.
It's
so-
the people with the least amount of power, like that will want to it's like a fucking mall security guards, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
agents is the same thing. The person was like, all right, this is the only aspect of my life in which people have to listen to me, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fucking monster right here.
Yeah.
It's just weak shit.
Beast, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's yeah. I saw him
That's
get
what I
like.
know from-
It was such a weird and fucking awkward situation because the manager like felt so in the right as he was berating this guy in front of all the cashiers and customers that were like waiting in line as they had their product scanned. Like what a useless fucking piece of shit he is and how he should contribute to society and whatnot. And so he didn't go back to that place, and then he fell in with some bad people because he had to eat, and so now he has to go to prison for like a couple months. Which I mean, at least it's
so
over
you-
the winter, so it's going to be warm there. But that's like the most, like that's the one somewhat decent thing that is going to be taken away from this. That man has been done
Couldn't
dirty.
he?
Yeah.
Couldn't he just avoid prison by leaving?
Well, leave where and go where?
Right, yeah, exactly.
hold her in prison
wherever you
without
go,
your
you're still
consent.
homeless.
Yeah.
But
And Shapiro ass take, just move.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
just
that
move,
was
bro.
I think that was a joke. I'm pretty
just
sure.
make money.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he simply
But-
buy a house?
Yeah. Exactly.
To solve homelessness, we just need to get them to buy houses. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
There's so
Earlier
many
we talked
empty
about
houses though. Like, Just
Earlier
give
we
them
talked
away.
about Ethan and Hassan, and
Oh,
I saw a clip recently of them discussing, and like Hassan is pro-China fascist now, and Ethan was like talking about how he wants to decommodify housing, and I'm like, how is Ethan further left than Hassan Abi? What the fuck?
I
How did
love
that happen?
I love Ethan Klein's like redemption arc from being, because he had a few years where he was just one of the biggest cunts on the internet, like mainstream famous ones. It was unbelievable.
In it.
But now
Ethan Klein,
he's coming round to it again.
he was very talented comedian. I thought his videos were really good, and the whole podcast is a lot of a sellout. I mean, sure, he gets more money off of it, but as far as like quality content and like bringing joy to the world, I don't think the podcast is as good as his comedic videos.
I mean, I don't really listen to podcasts in any way. Like I am on more podcasts than I listen to. Like that's
Yeah, same. I have a podcast and I don't listen to podcasts.
You have a podcast?
Yeah, it's like a porn thing.
Is
Don't
it? Oh,
advertise.
is it? Are you bussing it down sexual style, as they say, the kids say these days?
Is that what the kids say?
Yeah,
I just
wouldn't
I
know.
talk to
I don't talk to kids, I guess.
so I've heard.
Youngins' languages be interesting.
I love that you have a porn podcast, Beast. That is 12 out of 10, dude.
God.
Well, it's just talking to people who like I know in like various circles. Like my first one was like with like an erotic hypnotist.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
very,
Erotic
What the
hypnosis
fuck?
is really
That is
cool.
so interesting.
I like the idea.
Yeah, I've
wild.
practiced it a little bit, like in the sense of like I've learned some of the techniques, but it requires a level of trust that's like really, people need to get there.
yeah. The person I was talking to, they gave like a lot of stories where it was like kind of use it to sort of get people more comfortable with like certain things, like extreme exhibitionist scenes where like they're like tied up naked in public as like a display, as like a freaking chandelier in like public events and things like that, and to get people out of their head. And also it's like, well, if you're interested in certain fetishes, hypno might be the only way to actually feasibly do those things. Like you can't really do vor. You can't eat people.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
Or
should.
it is illegal.
I mean, I do live in
You can
Germany, and we
try,
had a
sure.
guy who technically,
We had a guy.
oh yeah, there was a guy who like
I mean,
solicited someone from online who volunteered to be
Oh
eaten.
yeah, and he
How
ate
many
his
meters?
like
Oh yeah, fuck.
he like cut him up into like a bathtub.
Yeah,
No, he
and
cut his dick
he
off.
tried
Well,
He
he ate
tried
his
to
dick
feed-
first.
he tried to feed the man a bit of his own dick at the man's request, but he was so weak from blood loss at that point, and the meat was so chewy that he didn't get any of it down.
See, that's the problem. You have to slow cook that.
yeah.
You gotta tenderize
This
it.
is the kind of thing that you discuss on the podcast.
Low and slow for like 8 hours.
Hell yeah.
It's like Max the meat guy, whose shorts I've been
what?
obsessed with, is like over cherry, low and slow, and then there's just like a guy on the
Max
grill.
the
Do you
Meat
think
Guy
you should
is
be-
also a porn name.
Absolutely.
Very porn name.
It's just a porn.
Do you think you should be responsible for what you do while under hypnosis? Because me, personally, I'm very anti Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. I'm like, that guy's a villain. He killed Iron. Oh, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but
He
like,
killed Iron Man.
but he was hypnotized, right? So,
well, that's.
What do you
I
guys
mean, there's a
think?
difference between like Marvel hypnosis and real hypnosis. Hypnosis can't
Yeah,
really
it's
make
different.
you do things that you don't want to do, like unless it's,
It's more
like
of
a
a
very
suggestion.
specific set of situations. Like it's not a magic thing. Although the limits of it is sometimes, there's like there's like ways of like psychological torture where like you don't even need to have hypnosis to get people to do shit that they want to do. But you know,
he got MK Ultra'd for like 20 solid years.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
that's maybe a
think he's
different-
responsible for
yeah.
anything.
It's a little different.
I think where that kind of gets interesting is that you can also be sort of held liable for the accidental death of somebody who, if they do something that you coerce it into you. Are you aware? All right, so this, I don't know if you all know about that. This guy maybe. Are you aware of Noodles and Beef? That guy.
I mean, I am aware of the food, but no.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
not-
like, I've eaten it.
Okay, so this was a guy who was like pretty big in like the kind of fetish community. He was very muscular, had like giant like silicone balls, and like, that was used into that sort of look. And he also had like a harem of dudes who he also sort of basically he liked looking like that. He was into people who also looked like that, and so he kind of like coerced / convinced a lot of people to like basically like, hey, if you want to be one of my guys, then you have to you have to look like this. So you push them into like steroid use, a lot of things, and also into like getting silicone injected into the balls. And I don't know if you know about
I'm
this
sorry,
about
what?
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Well,
I don't know if you know this about
Let him cook.
Let my man finish.
And a thing about injecting silicone into your scrotum is that can kill you if done incorrectly, because like silicone isn't supposed to like be in like
Be in there? Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
like,
no.
there's a reason that like no doctor will actually do that procedure. You have to go down to like Tijuana and get it done, and I do know a guy for that. But yeah, it can kill you. And this person was basically linked to 2 deaths via like genital silicone injection. And he just was like, hey, like, is he liable for this? Because like technically he didn't force them to do it. No, he's not holding them down and injecting into the balls himself, but also at the same time,
There is a degree of
That hurts my
persuasion
tummy.
involved. How? Okay, so what can I imagine? You say just like silicone injected balls. Does
do you
it
really wanna
just
go down
make
that?
them bigger?
Google it.
Yes.
Yes.
I could just send you
I
pictures.
can. I'm gonna Google it. I can't. When you send it, if you send me pictures, I won't be able to see them on stream.
No, but like
Oh, we're streaming?
how
Oh,
yeah.
this work?
I
Injected.
forgot this was a stream.
Talking about balls and shit.
This is the.
I hope you weren't planning to monetize these.
Oh no, these I not at all. Okay, so I see a lot of guys, but not their balls. Safe search
Damn.
is off. Yes, Google. That is a silicone. I know. I want to see the balls.
Let me see the balls,
Please
Google.
The
Oh,
actual
that's someone clip that. We need to put that on the soundboard.
balls.
Yes. Do it, bro.
Okay.
Even with
alright,
safe
cool.
search off, it's a lot of like,
I'm gonna send you a link. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Do not open it on stream for the love of God. What if you change your name?
I don't
Please,
beg for the love of God.
I take it.
for the love of something that you care about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make Discord invisible. Is there sound on the thing you're sending me?
No, it's just like a Twitter page.
Okay. Because then I'm gonna make Discord invisible on stream for a minute, but you can still see the reaction of my face to that.
He is so curious about
I'm
those
extremely
silicone
curious
balls.
about
I
this.
mean, the more
Okay,
that you
and
talk
of
about
course-
it, the more curiosity grows.
The X link didn't embed properly.
In the meantime,
I will forever live in ignorance. Never have seen the silicone balls.
Damn.
how
What?
different?
You can't look
would
at another
the
man's balls.
What?
How different would the MCU be? If-
How do you live with this?
Oh,
You
okay. So
don't fucking
no. Oh,
bro.
no. So that's interesting. So to some people, getting it to the size where it is like genuinely like inconvenient and a burden to your life is actually part of it.
Oh my god.
I can see that.
Oh, good lord.
I'm surprised. I'm so surprised you didn't know this was a thing. Okay, yeah, no, I have like. So there are some people who like just do like a smaller amount, and so they just look, disproportionately large, but not like what the fuck. And then there are people who go to the point where like it's fully unusable, and the only way in which they can sort of participate sexually is either bottoming or like having people like fuck the cavern. Like it's like okay, imagine a cave of foreskin.
You'd need a pretty big
they're
dick
not.
to fuck that cave of foreskin.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Okay, I'm turning Discord back on now.
Oh.
That was
I feel like-
wild.
I can show you the world.
Don't show me any more worlds, okay?
Every
show
once in a
you
while
the
I will just
world.
discover something that is completely new to me, and I always enjoy the experience, no matter how fucked up and weird it is. And this is also one of those times.
Okay,
Can I
okay.
just
I've got
hear
another thing. Though.
what
I don't
Chris
Oh,
wanted
no.
to say about
Are you
the
aware
silicone
that-
balls?
It's fine.
So there's a very
it-
specific kind of genre of furry art that it comes from one person.
No.
It's macro Falco art. Basically, there's this one person who is suspiciously wealthy. We don't really know how, but just spends a absurd amount of money commissioning
I
fan
see
art
you googling, Burger.
Yes, I am
of
Googling.
a Falco from Star Fox that is like the size of usually like a skyscraper, but sometimes planet size, and is like just fucks buildings and sometimes
That
is
is
fucks and other things.
That's exactly
no,
what
no.
I'm seeing right now. It's
No. So that's not the interesting part. That's not the interesting part.
okay.
The interesting part is that there's lore for this, and that there's like a full-on there's like a
lore.
document with like all the rules in the setting that explains that everybody there consents to it, that the like and waterfall of cum that comes out of Falco is nutritious and good for the community. That they like
Obviously.
that rebuilding the buildings provides jobs
Lots
for
of
everyone, and
protein
they're
in
all
there.
happy. That like they don't die in the process. Like nobody is harmed, and like
They're just going
there's-
out of their way to.
I mean, at
Right,
least
yeah.
it's wholesome, you know? It's better than someone going, it kills everybody that's there, and this gets me off.
But
It's
the
this
wholesome part
universe's
is what I
9/11.
find so fascinating about it, because it's a good person, and like he cares about all this stuff, but he just has this weird hyper specific sexual interest, but is still, even in the pursuit of that, is still not willing to disregard all of the fictional people involved. That's beautiful.
That rocks, dude. I love that.
People in that universe fucking loved it when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
You get a 9/11 every week, and it feeds families.
Oh no, that's
Puts
damn it.
food on the table.
like the good old
That's
days
what
after
you said.
9/11.
I'm fucking
Holy
crying.
shit.
Mr. President, another penis has hit the World Trade Center.
Oh my
Another
god.
nut has hit the World Trade Center.
Oh god.
Hell yeah.
Th-
dude.
This is why I was gone for so long,
It's
Burger. I
a
have to go
cool
out into the
jack.
world and find this information for you.
You have to
Thank
gather
you.
the lore,
You have not disappointed on your great quest.
the sex lore.
Just going like to the wilderness of Australia to find this.
It's a cool Jack,
Oh.
and I'm very much in touch with my inner child.
It's just you go
Taking
to the
taking drugs with the natives in the outback to learn
Yeah.
about the sex.
just you run into like a guy sitting like in the middle of the outback. The stars are different than how they usually should be, and the sky glows purple instead of like the midnight color, midnight blue. That's
Scars
that's
that
the
come.
word I was looking for. And it's just this guy who's like, "Oh, let me introduce you to one of the great secrets of the universe. That over there, that constellation, it's called the Falco." And that's it's from there.
I wake up, like I assume like I have some vision in which like I crawl out of the pouch of a kangaroo and just like I achieve like inner peace while like mentally
The pouch
being
is
like
in-
one of
pouch is-
these sperm cells in the jizz that shoots out into a building, destroying it utterly. And I wake
Pouch
up
is
and know
is
the
not on
true
its
name of-
belly, by the way. the pouch is the foreskin.
Oh no.
Oh god.
That has to be a kink.
I'm sure it
Probably,
is
yeah.
somebody's.
Hiding
Like
inside the
living in
is the
foreskin
ultimate
because
kink.
yes, that is a kink.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Using it like a
Any
sleeping
weird
bag.
thing you can think of is the only way that somebody can get off.
I love this species.
8 billion of us.
I know, right?
It's the best. We are the universe jacking off to itself.
Finally.
It takes a long time to
Have
come.
you seen Kurzgesagt's newest video where they like hypothesize that life started in the early universe?
No, I saw the Korea one, but I didn't see the. I find a lot of what Kurzgesagt does is like too surface level for me, and so I've not
needs to be
seen
fully
that
in
one
depth.
yet.
The
It's
overpopulation video was fucking garbage, dude.
yeah, and like
What the
these, if I see them go out with some like, oh, the life may have started early in the universe, I just assume it's some sort of like weird clickbait shit, and it's not true, and I don't watch it.
It's
enough.
an interesting argument in that I mean, obviously they didn't come up with it, but they talk about how in the early universe, like just 5 million years after the Big Bang, the universe had so hot a temperature that liquid water could exist basically anywhere.
Uh-huh.
And that might have been like conducive to life maybe existing everywhere.
That is actually kind of interesting, actually.
And I really like the thought that like to a life, like, I mean, obviously it would probably have been simple life, but to a complex life form that would have lived at that part of the universe where maybe like most planets were green, like there were plants maybe, and they see our universe as like a fucking super depressing post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah, it's like
Because-
with the the fucking Iron Star civilizations,
Yeah, we are the post-apocalypse.
the people who not into black holes to get a little bit of energy out of them.
Of course.
I would risk
That's a
spaghettification
kink,
for
right?
that.
I
you
would
imagine
not.
the suck?
I
It
sounds like
Spaghettification.
dick suck
sounds
by
like
a
a
black
terrible
hole,
idea.
dude.
That sounds like a terrible idea. What's wrong with you?
Sucks the molecules right out of it.
You're
It's
never
the most
gonna get a
amazing
bigger
experience
suck
you
in
can
your
only have
entire
once.
life.
Best suck.
Good
Ultimate.
lord.
Eventually there's gonna be a guy who's gonna like try and approach a black hole in such a way that only his dick crosses the event horizon.
I'm absolutely certain I've seen porn of this already.
Oh my god.
I know for
Good
a fact.
lord.
Is there any
There's
porn you
this,
haven't
phenomenon
seen?
called Earth Chan, where it's basically Earth, but it's made into
Oh,
an
yeah.
anime girl.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
they've done it with the black hole. So they took a photo of a black hole that was more like realistic than all the
Yeah, I
other ones, and
remember
then they
this.
turned that photo into an anime girl.
That was like a couple years ago where they
Yeah.
lambasted
And Black
the
Hole Jan.
the lead scientist because she was a woman and she hadn't put enough commits in the GitHub thing because she was the boss of the operation or some shit. I remember this very clearly, thinking like, what the fuck?
I remember the Earth Trend. That was such a wholesome meme, dude.
Earth Chan, the climate
And
change
Black
one.
Hole Chan. Can't forget Black Hole Chan.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Posh.
That's what we just said.
This is...
No, you did not. You just said Earth Chan.
You know, just doesn't mean like in the immediate past. There's time and it progresses linearly. And a lot of it happened.
Nope.
just
Ironically,
now.
unless you go into a black hole, that's because
Yeah.
at the event
yes.
horizon, all of time in the universe passes at the same instant.
Mhm.
Good lord.
So you can time travel into the far future and see everything that'll ever happen if you go into a black hole.
But then you wouldn't exist.
That is true.
Would you even like conceptualize because you don't exist anymore?
Millennials be like, interesting.
Is there's a
Millennials
way
be
to
like-
stop existing? Can I get in on that shit?
Legally?
Legally speaking,
How do you imagine Sisyphus is feeling? Do you imagine him happy?
I don't think he has feelings anymore. I think that they've numbed into just a duty.
Yeah, I feel like he should unionize. Probably I feel like
Yeah,
his
probably.
working
This is
conditions.
automaton.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Him and
imagine
the Boulder
Sisyphus as
unionize.
part of a union.
There's enough like Greek myth personages with cruel and unusual punishments that they probably can unionize pretty effectively at this point.
That's true.
What-
It was
what-
just,
what do you
have you
think
been
about
wronged by
symbolism?
Zeus?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hard to like do a picket line and when you're chained to a rock, having your liver eaten every
Yeah,
day.
that's why you need to get in on the union shit early, lest
Right.
this happen.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
They take
Did
so
you-
much of your time away and bind you to your wage gauge so much that you no longer have the time to organize. Yeah.
did you guys see what's going on with the actors strike now? Apparently they've stopped
Yeah.
negotiating, but not because
kind
they've
of
reached a
broke down.
consensus, but because they're saying, yeah, no, we're not getting anywhere at the moment.
Hmm.
They want 2% of streaming proceeds, the actors
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Also, no AI as well.
So are the writers. I thought this was a writer's
mean,
strike.
No, the
No, the
writer
writers'
strike's
strike
over.
Strike is... Oh yeah, it's
Burger
officially
donating that
done
on
now.
Sprint.
They have signed.
Yeah.
They have
I
They
made
signed
it
it.
invisible.
Oh shit, they've signed it now. I thought they
Yeah.
were still kind of. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're done with that. But the actors are still they were still going.
Yeah, they were.
Until
before
basically
we
the
broke their
companies were just like,
kneecaps.
fuck no, like absolutely not. 2%, you're bankrupting us, and everyone's like,
Bro, the fuck.
and they're like,
Can
I
just say,
need.
discussing film on Twitter is such an important account because they like cover film news generally, etc. But they
Yeah.
have been so good about covering the strike in the correct way, where they frame every failure to negotiate as greed by the fucking CEO corporate people.
It is, and like with the AI stuff, really that's just cutting corners and things for them. So they're like, oh, well, we need AI. Like, we can't do all of this in post processing or whatever, post production.
I haven't been too impressed with the quality of writing as of late. Do you guys think the quality of writing is up to par or as good
It's
as
been-
it has been?
I
It's
think
been
that's
mostly
completely-
scabs and AI.
I
There
think
we go.
that's completely irrelevant to anything going on with the strikes. And I'm kind of pissed off about people who bring that up when the strike is being discussed. Like,
Fair
even
enough.
if the work is subpar, they do work. And they
Yeah.
deserve their fair share of what that work
And like the writers,
ends
like
up
they
as.
work so much, and they work a lot of the times that they're not even like supposed to be working, just so like the shows can continue. And they never take that
But
into
yeah,
account. so-
Disney has officially been caught using scans to make like background actors. If you look at the
Yeah.
Asian woman on that picture, for example,
I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah,
whole
that-
that whole row is just
yeah,
yeah.
It's not.
She's
it's
just
not a
the
good
most
look.
egregious looking one.
yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to head out. Appreciate you. Thanks
See you
for
around, man. See you
chatting with me,
around.
Burger.
It was nice having you on.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
I mean, it's also, I think a lot of the writers in terms of quality, they could be doing better stuff if they weren't so fucking overworked all the time
Yes.
and just
Yeah.
constantly sort of put in
Oh
the
yeah, it's a scheduling issue.
yeah, and also like,
definitely
oh
as
no,
well.
you can't do anything that's interesting. It has to suck.
And sometimes
As
they
I
like
remember, sorry.
okay, they
Okay.
just have like too little writers on the show. So like usually be like one or two. and that's just not enough for like, especially like a show that's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Because then it just forces that one or two writers to just be constantly working.
Yeah.
Even when they're at home, like they have to be like on call. That's part of like when they get hired. They're like, we have to be able to call you at 3 a.m. And
It's also, I mean, in general, when you do this sort of creative profession, a major aspect of it is that you are always on, even when you're not working, because your mind is always thinking of ideas.
well, true.
So that's an additional factor.
But you shouldn't be beholden to someone else 24 hours a day.
Yes, absolutely not. That is.
Here's also a big part of why writing may have been deteriorating in mainstream movies as of late. This fucking blew my mind when I learned this. In the background of like in the behind the scenes stuff for Marvel movies, for like the Doctor Strange 2 or the Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 or 3, I guess, I don't know. You hear that the writers were writing scenes on the day they were being shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And they
the fuck?
they didn't even have an outline of the story done.
This is
They just
No
need to be
fucking way.
producing them like a fucking printer.
This is
Bro, that's
one of the
fucking
most
insane.
lucrative industries in the world. This is one of the industries that makes such unfathomable amounts of money.
Unfathomable.
It's yeah.
And like
I have to go to work.
these
Oh,
are some of the biggest movies of their years
Yeah.
in terms of like money and hype and stuff. And they
Okay,
can't give a writer like 2 months to sit down.
All right,
It's
but like
insane.
think about it as if it were like a D&D campaign where you just write out what happens for your character and then somebody else has to actually act it out.
That is fucking.
That
Well,
would
the thing
be, I
is,
mean, that would
'cause
work
they, like-
more.
If you
Every
had
Marvel
someone who
movie
was
is
used
gonna
to
be
like
written by
having
Matt
like
Mercer.
D&D people, I swear it would be better. Because like normal people, they just can't improv very well, especially as a writer.
Mm.
A lot
And
of
they
Even
have
most
to.
actors
Oh,
can't
that
do
kinda-
that
that
very well, I think.
Well,
guys, I'm back.
as like training for an actor, you
Welcome
do
back,
a lot of improv stuff.
But I mean,
Asking D&D people to write movie scripts sounds a lot like when somebody posts Mario in Unreal Engine and the replies are Nintendo hire this man.
I reckon probably a lot of like writers already play D&D. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
assume
I mean,
that-
you would assume that.
Yeah.
You would assume
like-
that. Some of
Yeah.
them do, obviously, but
Yeah, like when South Park did the Warhammer 40K episode, it was literally a Warhammer 40K campaign.
South Park is a great example of actually the opposite, because these people write, produce, voice an episode in 7 days.
That is
Like,
true.
what
They're
the
Yeah.
fuck?
uniquely insane about that.
Yeah, that is true.
But this really explains a lot, like the things that I've been finding where this is a conclusion that I've come to a long time ago. If like a movie is based on a novel, or like a show, it will often be better than just something that is purely produced out of like Hollywood writing rooms. Because then you had an author who was able to sit down for like a year or
about
two, to think everything through. This is why the season 1 of The Terror is absolutely fantastic, and season 2 is sort of like, eh.
Meh.
Or why Game of Thrones started deteriorating
Oh
as
my
they caught up.
God.
that was just
Yeah.
like real time.
Yeah.
That was like,
That
oh, we
was-
ran out
yeah.
of books, and then you can immediately tell because you're like, these people don't know.
On the
Yeah.
flip side, The Walking Dead has
Well-
actually gotten better. Since
I
they did
cannot
so.
speak to this.
Yeah,
That
I
show's still
stopped
going,
after.
I
Carl.
have not watched The Walking Dead in ages.
It's
That's
think I
actually a good
abandoned it
question.
at
Is
season
that
3.
show still on? Like,
it is. They've started doing spin-offs where like the
Fucking
characters
what?
have like split apart.
Doesn't Daryl get his own show?
Yeah, Daryl gets his own show.
Because everyone loves
And
Daryl.
there's now a Rick and Michonne show.
a
Yeah.
Either
Rick,
coming or
Rick
already
and
on air.
Rick and Morty?
He's
Oh,
Rick
have you guys
Michonne.
seen
Cop in the Samurai.
Have you guys heard the new? Have you guys heard the new voice actor for Rick Sanchez?
I
What do you
have
guys
not.
think?
No.
Yeah, Rick and Morty. They sound indistinguishable.
You're gonna find them at literally any college campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was that.
Genuinely.
I didn't think they would sound indistinguishable, but they just do. I mean, it's
I
perfect.
think Morty's voice is missing a little. I don't know, a little something in the back,
A little
in
spice.
the background. But I don't know, a little emotion, I guess. But
A little
like,
voice acting spice.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've actually found that most writers that I've worked with have been like people that the producers know, and they've been like, I've always wanted to write on a show, and so they hire them because they know them.
These are the most best paid, greatest creative geniuses in human history.
Yeah. That's why a lot of the writing feels very subpar. They've never written a fucking article in their life.
They've never written before
like
in
the
their
Witcher
life.
show. I feel like I am entirely convinced that the people who made the Witcher show just wanted to do a dark fantasy TV show, but Hollywood was like, no. It has to be tied to an existing IP. The originality, we do not do original IPs anymore. That doesn't happen. And so they just went so off the rails with it that it's literally just not the Witcher show.
Yeah. They really fucked it.
They really
You know what's funny?
And they had lots of books to go
I've
off
been
of.
listening to.
Yes.
What's funny is that I've been listening to a Simpsons podcast where they've been really getting into the background, the commentary on the episodes, and they've been talking about how
I'm gonna need
at
that
least
podcast,
at the time,
bro.
it's called Talking Simpsons.
Nice.
And they've been talking about how the writers on the Simpsons operated, and the thing is with writers, especially seasoned writers in like Hollywood, it's a very insular community, because they brought up how, because the original Simpsons writing staff were legendary. You had Sam Simon, Conan O'Brien, people like that. And they talked about how in another episode they were talking about how George Carlin had like a sitcom show, and how when they were doing that show, how even though George Carlin was the star and it was based on him, he couldn't really talk to the writers. The writers basically told him, hey, just you're the star, just shut up and let us do the work. And that's why they can't.
That's so fucked up.
He ended up canceling the show because he's like, how am I supposed to make a show about me if the writers won't let me make a show about me?
Right.
And it's just really messed up how, because that's what I think kind of happened with The Simpsons. Was it was a really insular crew that put out excellent work, but as time went on and people left to go do other things, they were like, okay, we're gonna bring in our other friends to come in, and it's like things didn't go so well, and that's how we got shows like we find out he's fake.
What the fuck was that?
What was that?
Jesus Christ.
What?
Bloody fucking hell.
It just shows like it
end
cuts off,
And then
then
it was a
it's
scream.
by an alien. Holy shit, dude!
Fucking Gollum attack, bro.
Are we in that horror movie from a while ago where everything happens on Skype?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God. Oh, there he goes again.
Oh, he's a goner, guys.
Rip Arkansas.
The aliens got him.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Arkansas.
Fucking Arkansas.
Oh hell yeah! It is time to end the stream.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was.
Oh well.
It turned out to be pretty good. This is a nice like cherry for the day.
Yeah.
I am fond of
Yeah.
this.
On the shit pie.
Fuck
At
it.
Carolina